Welcome, everybody. Today we have an awesome grammar lesson about the conditional. So we'll have Danielle, if you want to start by reading the lesson objectives for us.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify and distinguish between the zero, first, second, and third conditional forms. Use conditionals to express real, possible, hypothetical, and past unreal situation. Apply conditionals naturally in conversation, professional contexts, and personal reflections.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Danielle. Um, so we will, so we're going to be talking about different types of conditional. They're numbered just to make it easier. So hopefully it doesn't make it more intimidating. Um, and then conditional is used to talk about, yeah, hypothetical situations, possible situations, and real situations. So we've got different circumstances that we deal with. Okay. We will do Stephanie, if you want to read the first question and then answer it for us.
Or what is something that always happens when you travel to a new place? Answer.
Yeah, if you want to answer. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I travel a new place, probably I love visiting new, cafeterias or something like that, and speak with local people. I love that.
Okay, cool.
And meet local people.
And name of the people.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so we can say when I visit new places, or we could say like if I visit a new place, I always try the local cafes and
Good.
talk to the local people.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so we're going to be seeing this word if a lot, but in this case, yeah, like a situation that's always true. So if I visit, I try the coffee, I talk to the people. Perfect. Okay. Next one, we will do Virginia.
Yes, teacher. Can you hear me clearly?
It's a little quiet, but yeah, we can hear you. Let's see.
Yes,
Virginia, can you read the second question for us?
yes, but I don't see what it is.
Um, so the second question is this one here. That you can also answer it verbally. I'll read it to you. It
Okay.
says, "What will you probably do if you have free time this weekend?"
Ah, how can I feel? How will I feel?
Yeah, if you want to answer for us, Virginia.
Ah, yes. Will be like a dream.
Okay,
Something
so
because
if I
I take
had,
advantage to read. Is my favorite hobby, and maybe watch some movies too.
and you said that you would watch movies.
Yes, and read a book. It's my hobby.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome. So watch movies. Perfect. Yeah. So if I had, so
So I think I
unlikely.
have an issue with this.
Okay. Then it
Wait,
would.
wait. Ah, yes, now yes.
Oh, now it's a lot louder. Yeah.
Yes, that is why.
Oh, okay.
Better.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Next, Yuli, question number 3.
Could change one thing about your daily routine, what would it be? Um, I'd like to spend less time working on computer and do more exercise, I think.
Spend less time working on a computer, right?
Yes, less.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote more. Less time working on a computer. And more time exercising. Okay, so and then if I could change something, I would change that. Okay, and what do we have? Isa, if you want to answer question number 4.
Your microphone is
Yeah, you're on
Just
mute.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have studied something completely different at a university. How would your life look today? So I may say a famous singer. Yeah, playing guitar, creating my own songs, probably traveling or making a tour with my
Okay. So,
yes.
obviously we want to mix the fun with the grammar. So, what would be the grammar? How would you express what would have happened if you had studied music instead? How would you say that?
So how will you say?
Yeah, how would you say with like a full sentence?
Mm, if I have studied something completely different at at university, could be a famous musician.
And this is what we're going to see today is how do we get those squiggly lines to go away? How do we get the grammar to line up? Because like for me personally, like I genuinely love like the conditional because it gives us the ability to talk about so many things that we can't really express without that. So here we have if I had studied, and then I would have been.
Will
So
have
yeah, would have been. So this lesson is, definitely B2 because it is, some challenging concepts, but I think that all of you are up to the task. Okay.
perfect.
And we will skip the last question. Okay, so we're going to read through some of the concepts. So we will start with Danielle, if you want to introduce the concept for us.
Okay. There are 4 types of conditional: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. In part 1, we will take a look at the zero conditional and the first conditional, which both use present tense
Okay,
verbs.
perfect. Yeah, present tense verbs. Okay. Next up, we will do Yuli, if you want to tell us about the zero conditional.
zero conditional. We use the zero conditional to talk about general truths, situations that are real and will definitely happen. The form of the zero condition is if plus present tense verb plus present tense verb. real condition, the definite result. If water reaches 100 degrees, it boils.
Yeah. So zero conditional, we're talking about like the sun spinning around the earth. We're talking about like when it rains, it gets wet. We're talking about things that are undeniable, undeniably true. But we can also use zero conditional if it's something that always happens. Um, like when I eat a hamburger, I always get sick. So if I eat a hamburger, I get sick. It's always true. That would also be zero conditional. It's not as common. First conditional is a lot more common. And we will hear from Adriana about first conditional.
Yes, first conditional. The first conditional is less certain than the zero conditional, so it talks about things that will probably happen. The form of the first conditional is if plus present tense verb plus will verb. Possible condition, probable result. If you wear a sweater, you will be hot.
So it's a possible condition, it's a probable result. That if you were in northern Canada and you wore a sweater, you wouldn't get hot. It's not always true, but usually we use the first conditional to express the outcome, the most likely outcome of a situation. If you study with Spence, you will learn lots of English. Very likely scenario, but not guaranteed. Okay. And then we will do, let's see, Stephanie.
Conditional and imperative. Conditional as imperative. The sentences above follow the structure condition result. However, we can also use conditionals to give commands, requests, and advice. Examples: if you don't understand something, ask the teacher. If you hate someone, you talk to them.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we can also use to tell people if this is true, do this action, carry out this action. If you want to learn English, take my classes. Perfect. So now we're going to practice the first and zero conditional a little bit. So we will have Virginia, if you want to do the first two.
Teacher, I'm sorry because I'm from my phone. I think maybe I cannot see the information.
Oh, you have to turn the phone sideways.
How can I see this information that you already
No, like take the phone and like turn it to the side. Yeah, and it should be, can you see it now?
No, then I see.
Okay.
No,
Well,
the screen.
we'll have Isa, are you able to read?
I
Yeah.
already saw it. But I don't know, when I minimize the screen, I can see the information. But it's too small. And then when I
Okay, we'll have Isa go. Okay.
I can hear.
Yeah, okay. No, that's all right. Isa, if you want to read for us.
Yeah, the second one?
The first two. Read the
Okay.
instructions and then the first two. So I'll highlight
Perfect.
this.
Example. If you learn English, you have more job opportunities. Will have. In general, if a typhoon comes, it rains. If a typhoon comes next week, it rains.
Okay. So what we need to decide is it zero conditional, it rains, or is it first conditional, it will rain?
Will rain.
For which one?
Yes,
There's two.
next, two.
Okay, so let's start with number one. In general, if a typhoon comes,
Will rain.
so in this case, is it first conditional or zero conditional? Is it always true or sometimes true?
I know. Zero conditional.
Yeah, zero conditional. Okay, and so zero conditional, if we come back here, zero conditional, general truths, right?
Yeah.
Let me highlight that. So that is why you are right. And to form zero conditional, we have what tense? Present tense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it reaches 100, it boils. Present tense, present tense. So here, is it will rain or rains for number
Rains.
one? Rains. Perfect. Okay. And number two, if a typhoon comes next week, is this first conditional or zero conditional?
First conditional.
First conditional. So is it will rain or rains?
Will rain.
Will rain. Perfect. Great job, Isa. Okay, let's do Danielle, number 3 and 4.
Okay, if you turn the fan on now, the room get cooler. Usually, if you turn the fan on, the room get cooler.
Okay, so let's do number 1. If you turn the fan on now, the room, is this first conditional or zero conditional?
Zero conditional.
Zero conditional, always? So
Yes,
this
no?
is talking about now.
If you turn the fan on now, the room get
Yeah.
cooler.
So the contrast is with number 4, usually. So usually that's zero conditional.
Okay.
So it'd be room gets cooler. But this one, we're talking about a specific situation. And so in that specific situation, it becomes first conditional.
Okay.
Okay. So, because it's not like a universal truth, it's a description of a current situation. So, how do we form first conditional?
When you know that something is when we are talking about a specific situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a specific situation, a probable outcome. But how do we write it? We have the present tense here, turn, and then would it be will get cooler or gets cooler?
Gets, no?
In this case, it'll be will get. Yeah,
Will get cooler.
will get cooler. Okay. And don't worry, we're gonna keep working on these concepts. So let's do 5 and 6 to Adriana.
Yes, 5. If they come to the party, they will be too many people.
Okay, so if they come to the party, blank, too many people, is this first conditional or zero conditional?
Zero, because we don't know how many people are there.
Okay. So zero conditional is only for general truths. It's only for things that are always true. Okay.
Mhm. In this
So
case, we don't know if it's true or not. It's a possibility. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So here, first conditional, we're talking about possible conditions. Um, so we're talking about possibilities. Whereas here, we're talking about like for sure, without fail. Um, okay, so let's do so there how would we take B and make it into simple future?
With,
Adriana. Will
Winnie
be. Yeah, will be.
will
Yeah,
be.
first. Okay. And number 6, Adriana.
If you study hard, you will pass the test.
Okay, will pass.
The same because it's a possibility.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a possibility. Okay. And then Yuli, if you want to do number 7 and 8.
If the air pressure is low, the weather is nice.
What do we have here?
Isn't nice.
Okay, yeah. Isn't nice, yeah. Okay.
And if the air pressure is high, the weather is nice now.
Mhm. Yeah. And why are you using zero conditional to describe the situation?
Uh, because it's a fact, isn't
Mhm.
the truth. It's
Yeah,
not a
general.
possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like a general truth. It's something that's always true. Yeah. Um, okay. And like if there was something like let's say that I had like an opinion, um, that like I said like if you like the soup, but I know for sure you're gonna like the soup. It's still an opinion. It's still like a possibility. It's not something that's like universally true. And so that's why like they give the examples of weather, and they use the word like usually, to indicate like this is something that's like generally true. That's yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. So we will have Virginia. Can you read the top of the page for us?
Yes. Grammar focus. Second conditional and third conditional. Remember, conditional forms are used to wonder about something that can happen or to express that some actions can only take place if something else is done first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we call it like an if-then statement, right? If then. Okay, cool. We will go to let's see, Wilmer, are you able to read some of the grammar instructions for us?
Okay, second conditional. We use the second conditional to talk about an event that is not likely to happen. The form of the second conditional is if plus past tense verb plus would past verb. Even that is not likely to happen. Probably result. If I won the lottery, I would travel around the world.
So Wilmer, what's something that's not likely to happen? What's an improbable event? Just give me an example, something that's not likely.
Okay, for example, if you if you I were a rich, I would travel or I would bought a house or mansion or the mansion.
Mhm. Yeah, so if I were rich, it's unlikely or it's not true. Um, I would buy, you said a boat?
No, it's sorry, it's by the mansion,
A
mansion or
mansion.
a mansion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would buy a mansion. I was like, a boat? What would you use a boat for?
Yeah.
Um, okay. Yeah, and the classic example is if I won the lottery, um, I would travel around the world. That's like the classic example that we're using past tense and would to express the idea. Wilmer, do you know what the lottery is? Wilmer,
Excuse me, teacher, can you repeat, please?
do you know what the lottery is?
Yes, I would like to buy the lottery.
Okay. Yeah, so competition to win lots of money. Okay, cool. So that was Wilmer. Let's do Yuli next.
Third conditional. The third conditional is used to imagine the possible results of an event that did not actually happen. The form of the third conditional is if plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. Even that did not happen, possible past result. If I had studied hard, I would have gotten a good grade.
Okay. Do you remember Issa's example from the beginning of the class?
No.
Okay. Let's see. If
Ah, that she became a musician.
yeah, so if she had studied something else, music, and then what would be the second half, Yuli?
She would have um,
She
uh,
would.
been a musician.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Um, let's do Adriana with the tip.
Tip, you can also put the if clause at the end of the sentence. For example, I would have gotten a good grade if I had studied hard. Or I would travel around the world if I won the lottery.
Yeah, the classic example. Um, so Adriana, how would we take the sentence about Isa and turn that into that same, like, with the if in the middle? How would we reorder that sentence?
I would have been
She would have
uh,
been.
a dancer, a famous dancer, if I had studied in an dance academy.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So she would have been a musician if she had studied. And it might be better to say like become, even. She would have become a musician. Okay, cool. Let's see. So yeah. So we can put the if in the middle or we can put it at the beginning. Depends what we want to emphasize. Stephanie, if you want to read the instructions and then do the first example for us.
Mhm. Yeah. Activity, second conditional and third conditional. Example, if I can fly, I will fly all around the world. Good. One, if she win the singing competition, she would be famous. So
Okay.
she had one third conditional.
Add one.
The
So
singing
yeah,
competition.
so this one's a little tricky here. If it said she would have been,
Oh, okay.
that would be third conditional, but it just says would be. So what is it if not third conditional?
Mhm. So if she won the
If she won, yeah, perfect.
one,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if she won, so this one is second conditional. So
yes,
here, are we talking about a past event or a future event? If she won the singing competition, she would be famous.
past event.
You would think it would be past because we're using past tense, but it's actually a future event. It's saying it's very unlikely that she's going to win. And so if she won, which she's unlikely to do, she would be famous. Yeah.
Okay.
So if we look at the format here, won. If I won the lottery, we're talking about the future. I would travel the world, the probable result. Okay. We'll go to Danielle next. So if you want to do number 2.
Okay. If you meet Jake, you will have remember him. If you met Jade, if you met Jade,
Well,
you
so
will.
let's look at the second half of the sentence. Let's ignore the first half.
Okay.
Would have remembered, right? Yeah, would have remembered.
You
And look at would have gotten, right? So
okay.
what conditional are we dealing with?
You will have
Yeah, are we dealing with first, second, third, zero,
third.
third? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're dealing with third conditional. So how does third conditional start?
If past perfect. If
If past perfect.
perfect past perfect of meet. If you, I don't remember the past perfect of meet.
Okay, can
Met,
anybody
maybe?
help? Can anybody help? Stephanie,
Had
can you
met.
help?
Had met.
Had
Wilmer
met.
wrote in the chat. Thank you, Wilmer.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So had met. If you had met. So yeah, so what we need to do is we need to look at and we need to see which conditional we're dealing with in order to know which way to change the verb. Okay, we're going to go to Isa. Isa number 3.
Okay, if you remind me, I will have remembered to come. Is second conditional.
Second conditional?
2. Oh, second?
It's not second. One of your classmates giving you a clue in the chat.
I will have. I will have.
Okay, so would have remembered. So someone gave you a clue in the chat. Which conditional is that?
Have.
Third conditional. Okay.
Okay.
So third conditional, we just saw this with Danielle. If we have third conditional, then we need the past perfect, right?
Okay.
Past perfect. So what is the past perfect of no? Or sorry, of remind.
Remind.
What's the past perfect of remind?
Remind. Remind.
Yeah, past perfect of remind.
To remind.
Your classmates are trying to help you, but they're missing a piece. Stephanie, can you jump in and help?
No. You had reminded.
Have reminded?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so had reminded. Why do we need the had there?
Because it's third condition.
Exactly. Yeah, so we need had reminded for third conditional. Okay. So we're gonna go to let's see, Adriana, number 4, and I'm gonna have you read the sentence and I'll give you a clue.
For if I know he was coming to the party, I would not have come. Is second conditional. If I knew he was coming to the party, I would not have come.
Okay, so in this case, what we're talking about is a past event, right? So here we have like,
Es third. Yes, es third
yeah,
porque
so
was
did not actually happen. So let's, yeah,
come is the past participle of came.
yeah.
Yes, and then is past perfect. If I have known he was coming to the party, I would not have come.
Okay, so did the person go to the party?
What is the question?
So the sentence is talking about something that didn't happen, right? If I had known he was coming to the party, means that she didn't know that he was coming to the party. So when we say like, if I had known, right? If I had known means I didn't know,
Yes,
right?
I didn't. If I had known, I would not have come.
Mhm.
Third.
Yeah. So if we look at like the meaning of these sentences, like the number 2, like if I had met Jake means I didn't meet Jake. Okay. So do you think that this person went to the party?
This person went, yes, that
Yes,
person went to the party and he was surprised when he saw that person.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the sentence is giving us a lot of information in a condensed way. That it's telling us that, yeah, if I had known that, if I'd had that information, I would not have gone, which means it's likely that they did go. It's likely that they did go to the party. Okay, great job, Adriana.
Yes,
Um,
and the third, no second.
oh yeah, yeah, change that third. Good catch. Stephanie, number 5.
All right. If you not eat so much junk food, you wouldn't have gained so much weight. Okay, that's third conditional.
Third conditional, very good.
If you hadn't eaten so much junk food, you wouldn't have gained so much weight. Hadn't
Okay.
eaten.
Yeah, hadn't eaten. Okay. Which does that mean that the person did or didn't eat a lot of junk food?
The person did.
Yeah, the person ate a lot of junk food.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So these sentences have a lot of information inside of them. But without the right grammar, we're not able to express the ideas. So we have 2 activities coming up, and we have 10 minutes left. Okay. Well, maybe I didn't plan this well. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit. So it tells you which conditional it is. So zero conditional in this case. So if we go back and we look at zero conditional was general truths, if present tense verb, present tense verb. Okay. I'm going to start with Isa. Isa, if you want to read question number 1.
Okay. What happens if you don't get enough sleep before work?
Okay. Tell us, let us know.
If you don't get enough sleep before work, you don't produce. You don't get enough. If you don't get enough sleep, you don't produce the same with the same effectivity
Yeah, like the same quality work.
for the quality work. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I will share this document with you that has all the questions. But you can see that with zero conditional, we had present tense and then present tense because it's something that's like a universal truth or a general truth. Okay. And then we'll have, let's see, Danielle, if you want to answer the last question.
Okay. What will happen if you use more conditionals in your English conversations starting to date?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me think. I guess if I use more conditional in my English conversations, I guess I could be like more sounds more natural, maybe like
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So we have the past tense because in this case, the sentence is implying that it's unlikely, which may or may not be true. Um, and then I would sound more natural. I think that this would actually be a better one to use first conditional if I use more I will sound because of course you guys are likely to go out and use this information. But I will share the recording with you. I will share the notes with you, and we may revisit this concept to reinforce and build on these ideas. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stan.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
teacher.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye bye.